All right, let's do this. Friends of mine, let us talk about Dallas Cowboys. Full draft. This presentation is brought to you by me. My name is Jeff. It's also brought to you by my friends at BetOnline, your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoff stats, all the latest stats, the news, the scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hello, everyone. We have 3 days of drafting in the books. And I can confidently say I like what the Cowboys did, which isn't always true. But I like what the Cowboys did. I think they set a really nice tone for their drafting with what they did on the very first day of the draft, being able to trade down, get really good value in a trade down, get an extra pick. And that extra pick being Cooper Beebe, who I think is going to start for you at center for 4 years. That's lovely. The rest of what they did, good. Fine, good, fine. What is kind of important to remember as you take a look at their entire roster after they're done drafting is this is absolutely going to be a year of, whatever you got, Dak and CD and Micah, that's 2024. You can call it whatever you want. Reboot, reset, rebuild. This is absolutely we're not doing everything we can to add talent, but we have a bunch of really good players, and we're going to add a bunch of young people, and we're going to give some guys opportunities, and we're going to see who can play. And then a year from now, we might try our best again. But I like what they did. Yeah, no shiny new toys. And I love shiny new toys. No, you're looking at offensive tackle, defensive end, offensive lineman, linebacker, corner, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, a lot of dudes along the line of scrimmage. The interesting one is going to be Justin Rogers, the 7th round pick, number 244 out of Auburn, just because of opportunity. They don't have people. He's 330 pounds. He's got a real shot to make the team and play some football. All of your other guys, Caelen Carson, the Wake Forest, pick number 174. I think that's good player, good value, inside, outside versatility, real chance to be cornerback number 4 this year. So I like that. The Notre Dame linebacker, according to Consensus Board or a lot of other people, could have been a reach. But boy, it's fun when people are psychos on a football field, and he is a psycho on a football field. So that'll be fun. Ezekiel Elliott, RB1, let's go. Yeah, that's very possible. Just totally ignored running back. Which, what am I going to do? Complain about that? I tell you all the time, I don't care. Running backs don't matter. But I sure would like to have a 22 or 23-year-old running back with some big playability, and they do not have one of those. So you're going to roll into this year with probably Zeke, Rico, Freeman, Deuce, Lipke. So I was expecting a running back at some point, but it did become pretty clear going into day 3 that it sounds like a Zeke reunion is going to be in the cards and that they're going to sell that to you, which goes right in line with, look, the Cowboys, what they're going to do with this offseason is not sacrifice the future, take some lumps for mistakes they've made on past contracts. They're going to have to do that again next year. They're retooling and rebuilding, and they're going to give a bunch of young people opportunities. At wide receiver 3, you're going to have opportunities. Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks. All I know is I'm half listening to the draft talk and half figuring out what I'm going to read next based on Jeff's bookshelf. Here it is. If you need a self-help book or a fantasy book of some sort, I got you covered. Now, I do wonder, what will they continue to do? Like the Cowboys, like team building doesn't end when the draft ends. Are they still interested in adding some things? They're still short at defensive tackle. They're still short. I guess technically you're not short at running back if you're talking about bodies. If Zeke rejoins this thing, you have bodies, but man, that is going so far down the path of Jeff saying running back doesn't matter that they're just like, yeah, those guys play running back. We'll just see what happens. It'll be fine. That's nutso. Cooper Beebe to me is the Michael Gallup pick to you years ago. I went nuts. He'll be better than Travis. Easy, bro. Ryan, but thank you for being a member of the channel. Easy with the better than Travis. But Cooper Beebe is my favorite pick too. Cooper Beebe is definitely my favorite pick of this draft. I think that dude is your best center right now. And however it plays out, maybe he's your long-term center. Maybe he doesn't win the center job. That's the thing. Maybe Tyler Guyton has a bunch of hiccups and it's kind of a developmental year. Maybe Marshawn Kneeland is D-end 5 and it's a developmental year to get ready to replace Take Lawrence. Maybe Cooper Beebe doesn't win the center job, but he's your right guard for the next 3 years after that when Zach Martin goes. Caelen Carson will replace Jordan Lewis a year from now. They're doing a little bit of a reboot, rebuild on the fly. Don't spend money, but try our very best to add cheap labor and get a bunch of competition in here and just see what happens. So for the first time in a while, I don't think it'll be too clear cut that everybody has this role coming in. You won't talk about the Cowboys of having one of the 5 best rosters in football, but they're rejuvenating that offensive line with youth. That's youth without the H. So you get young on the offensive line again. You get that rebooted a little bit. And a year from now, it's way too early for this, and a year from now, you'll have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 draft picks to play with, whether that is another year of youthful infusion without signing big name players, which is absolutely possible, or whether that is they get it sorted out. Who's the quarterback? Is it Dak? Are we going a different way? Do we want to spend big money on free agency and flip some of our 11 picks for some veterans? This is I don't know the right term for it because it's not a rebuild. You're too good to rebuild. A retool? A best of luck to you this year, guys, and we'll see what happens. Sorry, we're not going to give you all the help we can, but we don't want to risk any sort of the future. Reset. Yeah. Aaron in the comments. Not a rebuild. A reset. A reset of we made some contract mistakes. Those are running out. But we also are eating a bunch of money this year and even more next year. So we need a youthful infusion of cheap labor. We're not going to load down the books with salaries that go wee into the years. A nice little reset, a nice little retool for the Dallas Cowboys. But I do like what they did in the draft. If we don't extend Dak, we'll have $100 million in cap space, correct? No, if you don't extend Dak, you're going to eat $40-something million anyway. And if you do extend him, then he'll have whatever his new contract is plus $26 million. So they've got themselves into that spot by moving money. Void years. So guys like Dak, Zach, Tank, Cooks, even when they're not on your team next year, you're eating money for all of them next year. That's why the Cowboys are doing the things that they're doing right now. They're not all in this year because they forgot to say the words, but they were all in last year and the year before. That's when they were all in. People can pretend they weren't, but they were. When they restructured Michael Gallup's contract, even though we had all seen him play and thought, you're going to want to cut him a year from now and you're going to want to move back guaranteed money. That's crazy. That was their all-in year, trading for Gilmore and Cooks and restructuring everybody to be able to pay the guys they wanted. That was their all-in. This year's all-in would involve doing those same things with Steele and Diggs and all of these different guys. And they didn't because they're like, no, we're going to let all this stuff catch up to us and then we can start over. You know, as soon as you say that, they'll do several re-signs with 6 bad new contracts. Now the Cowboys will do that to you. The Cowboys love to get somebody who they love to get a guy that is an okay player, but that they like. And then what they'll do is that guy will accept whatever contract extension the Cowboys put in front of him. And so those ones they'll do. That's how Jalen gets paid. That's how Steele gets paid. Guy we like, they'll agree to the terms we want. Yeah. And then we turn around and go, oh my God, what are these contracts? Formulas in the super chat. Grade it, Cap. Cowboys draft. B. B plus, B. B plus, B. B plus, B. That's my Tourette's. Yeah, something like that. You get a B. Love the Beebe pick. Okay with the Guyton pick, but love the way it was made because it added Cooper Beebe. Like the Marshawn Kneeland pick. Notre Dame man linebacker, meh pick. Like the Caelen Carson pick. And the rest of them are 6th and 7th rounders. So it's just, let's see if we get lucky. But I give it a B. I give it a B. They did okay. Is Jerry scared to say and admit the R word, rebuild? He might be. Yeah, that's not a word that Jerry's going to ever say. Jerry's going to sell you on whatever is going on right now that, look, boy, we are cooking. We are all in on the draft. We are all in on whatever guy's on our roster. Any potential running back to get released, they can still pick up based on draft. They could pick somebody up. They could trade for somebody. I guess I would be a little bit surprised if they really go into this thing when they basically announced that the Zeke contract was a bad contract by cutting him. They're still paying him $6 million this year, and they would bring him back anyway after a year in New England where he was what we thought, not very good. You're not going to have a lot of big playability at running back if Zeke is here and what is on the roster is here, and that's what it's going to be. Yeesh. Arguably, you could say the teams that are better in the NFC than Dallas all improve their rosters. Dallas, not so much. That's true. Dallas will not have a better roster this year than they did last year. Obviously. No. Could you get better center play? If Beebe wins that job, maybe. Could you get better left tackle play? No chance. Will you get better running back play? No. Will you get better cornerback play? Probably not. Linebacker? Maybe. But no, I don't think that they won't be better. They won't be better on paper than they were a year ago. But hey, sometimes you just got to be like, look, we ran out some of the old heads. We're bringing in new blood, and we're going to crank this thing up. We're going to see what they got. We're going to give a bunch of people opportunities. We're going to see what Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, we're going to see what those dudes can do. A refresher. Yes, that's a good comment. A refresher. Still worried about D tackle, still worried about running back. If they re-sign Zeke, they might as well re-sign Gallup. Don't be shocked. They cut him to get that money off the books. If he don't have a market, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. So now we'll track the rest of the offseason. Tolbert's an upgrade from Gallup. I mean, either way, it's meh. It's meh. Meh. And so they're going to say, let's see. Show us what you got with Dak counting for $1 billion this year. Show us what you got. And they'll show us what they got. I'm very concerned with running back and one tackle, deep tackle. Jeff, help me get better. I can't help you. No, I can't help you with that. You know what I would do at running back? I'd let the deuce loose. I'm still a believer in the tiny running back. I think tiny running backs are the best running backs. It's hard as hell to tackle tiny people. And at the one technique, you're running out a 7th round pick and Mozzie when he's back from his shoulder injury. So no, I don't have a lot of faith in that. Maybe they're just going to play a bunch of bigger defensive ends. Micah's going to play a little bit more of linebacker, or he's just going to play on a line where everyone else is at least 270 pounds, something like that. Any info on the running back they signed, UDFA? I do not have any information on the Cowboys UDFAs yet, but I can get it for you. Missouri, Pete. Watch this. Yeah, I got you, bud. Let's handle this. And if you think that this is actually my work that I'm going to be giving you, you are mistaken. Come on, Dane Brugler. Show me Pete. 4.37. That's running fast. Maybe they do have a guy who can make some big plays. I don't see him ranked in his guys who actually have descriptions. Let's keep scrolling. Show me Pete. Show me Pete. I do a lot of scrolling. I'm looking for Missouri. I'm looking for Missouri. Nathaniel Pete, running back 43, 5'8", 196, huh? Tiny man? Reasonable athlete? Weird build? Yeah, I don't know. I can't help you. I can't help you. All right, guys. Kick ass. Have a great day. I love you. It was good to see you. I'm off to see our Mavericks beat the crap out of the Clippers. LFG. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Be easy.